Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. If you haven't guessed it already, today I'm going to be doing a perfect bridal makeup look. In my opinion, I think that this look would look so stunning on all eye colors and all skin tones. So let's grab your drinks and your snacks and let's get started. So I have this little crown piece in my head that I got from Burlington Coat Factory. These earrings, I got them from TJ Maxx, and I'm in just like this little white kind of casual dress, but I think it's actually kind of boho beach vibes. My hair, excuse my hair, it's kind of crazy looking. We're not here for the hair, we're here for the makeup. So I'm really excited to show you guys this because I see a lot of pictures of brides wearing smoky eyes and, you know, red lips, and that is all well and good. It all depends really on what your theme is. Obviously, if your theme is the roaring 20s or vintage, you know, it just depends on the vibe. But if you're just a classic bride or boho beach vibes, getting married in a park or wherever, you know, or a nice hall or in your backyard or, you know, at the courthouse, you know, it really doesn't matter. This is stunning makeup. So starting from the very beginning of what I believe you should do on your wedding day is you definitely should put some type of sunscreen on your face, especially if you're having an outdoor wedding, you're on the beach. You know, sometimes they have like a canopy little awning thing that goes above, but you know, you just never know, so you definitely want to protect your skin and put this on. That's from Neutrogena, so that's a really good one. I use that all the time. The second step that I would highly recommend doing is priming. A lot of people forget to prime and they don't realize how important priming is, whether it's you just want your makeup to last long, or you just want your makeup to look flawless, or you're getting married, you know, you want to prime. So I'm holding up two because these two are my favorites at the moment. I use this one almost every single day. It's from Becca. In videos, if I describe something as the lilac bottle from Becca, I'm describing this little tube. It's Instant Complexion Refresh Light. It's a light priming filter. It's amazing. I have it actually on my face right now. This is a good alternative. It's much more affordable, actually. It's from NYX. It's a color correcting primer, so this is going to be really good for all my ladies out there, or my gentlemen that have rosacea, redness, just discoloration that you want to correct. Correcting would be very, very crucial right now to do it, especially on your wedding day. So highly recommend these two primers. And like I said, I started with the Sunproof 55 Neutrogena, and I have this primer on currently right now. So the third step is picking, you know, not necessarily like a long-lasting foundation, but you definitely want your skin to be able to breathe. You know, you don't want to mask your face. You don't want to be unrecognizable. I mean, this is your wedding day, so the person you're marrying should obviously accept you for your flaws and all, but you just want to look, a little bit step up. So the best foundation that I think really just almost looks like your second skin. It's so beautiful. It's from Absolute New York. It's HD Flawless Foundation, and I have it in the color Sand, but I'm probably not this color anymore. But I also have another color, but I'll probably just balance it out with the concealer. But it looks like this. And down below in the description box, I have a referral link where you can get 10% off using my code Emily10. So, and their brand is already affordable, so you'll basically get it for really, really cheap. So I'm just gonna put this on my face where I need it. And yes, on your wedding day, I do think you should be doing foundation and concealer just for the longevity of it. And then just take this brush, some type of a nice fluffy foundation brush, to buff that out and not make it look heavy and make it look more like skin. You want to drag it down the neck. You want to get it in all the nice little crevices. I highly recommend this brush. It's from IT Cosmetics. I talk about this one all the time because I love it. I just love that if you're working with foundation, you use this side, concealer this side. It's just amazing. So right now we have the concealer on, and as you can see, I mean the foundation on, as you can see, you know, certain things are popping through. I mean, on your wedding day, you still want to look like yourself. You just want to look like the better version of yourself. So I would choose medium coverage on your wedding day. Of course, if you're more self-conscious with acne, you know, red spots, maybe bump it up a little bit to a heavier foundation, but you don't want to do heavy on top of heavy on top of heavy on top of heavy, because that's when things will start to look cakey. And there's nothing worse than having you know, textured skin and everything is kind of flaking and dry. So next, for my under eyes, if you know, I personally think everyone should do this, especially on a nice occasion like your wedding. I have very dark under eye circles, so I like doing this. What this is it's like a nice light peach salmon color, and it's a corrector. It's just gonna brighten and it's gonna correct. It's not a concealer, it's correcting just the blue. See the blue dark shadows? You see how this side kind of just this side looks like I had 9 hours of sleep and like 3 cups of coffee. And let's not talk about this side. Let's not talk about her. She's seen it. She's seen better days. But I love this stuff. It's from Becca. It's their under eye brightening corrector. And the consistency goes a very long way, so you don't want to put too much of this under your eye. But a lot of women, a lot of men, whoever likes to do their makeup, a lot of people, I've noticed that they don't go into the corner in here. And this is actually where the most darkness of our eye is. So don't forget that area. And definitely don't forget to go on top of your lids to get discoloration, blue veins, red spots. You see, it just, we're already looking more angelic. We're already looking so much better. See? So I love doing that step. That would be your 4th step after the foundation. Now you could kind of just let it dry. I'm gonna go right into the next step, which is concealer. So that's the 5th step. I'm trying to keep track, give you guys the right numbers. So this is from e.l.f. It's their 16-hour camo concealer in light peach. I love it because it gives you so much product. You get so much product. You dip it and then you take it out, and there's so much product that comes on here. You could do a full face just with the one sweep. So I typically like to put concealer around my nose, not necessarily like right against the nose because it can crease. Mine creases. Around the mouth, okay, down the tip of the nose. I go a little bit in the middle, and I like to bring it like this under my eyes, chin, and then I have a few little breakouts down there. And then it's up to you. Wherever you have blemishes, I would just spot conceal after this point. Okay, then you can take a sponge, or you can go and use the other side to that brush from It Cosmetics I had spoken about earlier. You don't really have to go out and spend a lot of money and getting your makeup done for your wedding. I know that it takes a lot of the pressure off of the big day, but I know that I will be doing my own makeup just because I'm so particular about my makeup and how I want things to specifically look. I have nothing against makeup artists. I want to keep them employed, of course, but I've always been that way. Like, when it comes to getting my hair cut, I'm so particular. It's just, I'm a Virgo, so things have to be a specific way. Now, this concealer dries pretty quickly, but I like it because it lasts for so many hours. The only downfall would be the fact that it does dry pretty, not necessarily so quick, but it does dry. So you have to manipulate it the way you need it, because I'm just trying to make sure everything is blended. Now, you don't have to run out and get eye primer. Concealer and the Becker corrector already acted as our primer. I really never saw a difference with eye primer. I have used eye primers before, and I don't, like, some people swear by them, and I can just put concealer on the lid and then just kind of call it a day. Okay, so this is kind of like how the skin is looking so far. At this point, what I would do is I would tap, tap, tap everything in, so that with the warmth of your fingers and your hands, clean hands, wash your hands, sanitize your hands, make sure everything is sanitized and clean. But this is how everything is looking so far. There's still some glow to the skin, but it's still matte. It's still kind of mattified. And we're still concealed. So now, before I start setting my face with powders, if you're gonna work with creams, I would work with creams right now. So if you're gonna put a cream blush on, do it right now. If you're gonna do like what I'm about to do, which is sculpt contour, I would do it right now because it's a cream. So I'm gonna do powder, setting that in a little later, but right now, since we're working with creams, you wanna just place it. The natural contours of the face. And you don't want to do too much of it. You just want to do a nice amount. This is from Absolute New York. Once again, I have that link down below, the referral link to get 10% off, and they're already super affordable. So I'll take something smaller like this. This is from Bare Minerals. This is their just eye kabuki brush, and basically I'll just target that and blend that out. And it's cream, so it's gonna blend much faster and easier. And I'm putting a little bit in the crease of my eye, down my nose. So we're going to be working with mauve shades today. That is the color that I think looks beautiful on so many different eye colors and different skin tones, and I just feel like it's not talked about enough. I feel like you see that the smoky eye look, and that's beautiful, but I think it's just a little too dark, and it kind of just takes away from the natural beauty that you guys are. It just takes away, and we want to be able to showcase our beauty. Down there I might need something a little bit, a little more wider, and never just skip the neck. Always contour the neck and bring it down too. And then if you're contouring, bring it back into the ear. Don't forget to bring it into the hairline. So that's cream contouring. We just kind of placed it where we needed it. It just sort of made our face look a little bit more warmer and a little bit more sculpted. I have a round face, so I need dimension. And even if you already have chiseled model-like structured face, I think you still should contour. It just kind of brings everything together. So now we're gonna powder now. So take your favorite translucent powder. Mine is from Wet n Wild, Photo Focus translucent powder. I'm first going to set the face with powder all over. I'm gonna just set everything, and then I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna target specific areas, and then I'm just gonna bake under my eye to ensure that the shadow won't fall down. So let me just get a powder brush. I have some in the little cap, and I'm just gonna. So powder is definitely going to be your best friend on your wedding night. In your bag, I would bring with you some type of pressed powder, so that you can just kind of look into a little mirror and touch up and then be good to go. I think loose powder would be a little bit too messy, especially with your wedding dress. So I would go for something like Bye Bye Redness from It Cosmetics, something that comes in more of a compact. This is loose. You want something where that little squishy sponge and you can kind of press it on. So I'm just setting my face with the powder, everything I just did, with a nice translucent powder. And then I'm going to take something a little bit more fluffier, like this, and I'm going to just set the under eye area with powder. This is just a translucent powder. It doesn't have any pigment to it. It's just translucent. Okay. So this is what the face is looking like so far. Okay. And now we're looking matte, we're looking powdered, we're set. Super important part, okay? So next, take that powder, and as I closed it, take that powder because now we're going to be working with shadows. So take a beauty sponge, beauty blender. It could be something you got at the dollar store. You just need to, you want to start baking and putting just some translucent powder under the eye. This is just going to ensure that that concealer stays put, and it's also gonna just act as a barrier from makeup falling down. Okay, you don't want makeup falling down. And I just kind of bring it a little bit down here, and I just stamp it into the T-zone again, any area I'll get. A lot of people, I see them, they put the powder on after, like they bake their contour. That can kind of come off a little bit harsh, but we'll see. Okay, so we can have some powder under the eye because now we're going to be working with actual pigment, so we have to make sure that nothing is going to drop. So I'm going to be working with the Carly Bible Deluxe Edition. If you don't have the Deluxe Edition, you can still create this look, I believe, with the original one that she came out with. I believe this is completely like out of stock at this point, but I'm showing you this palette to show you the shade that I need you to so you're gonna want to stay within this family, this mauve family, because we're gonna be working with this shade right here, this shade, and that shade. So boom, boom, boom. Okay, I think personally mauve looks gorgeous. Mauve, however you say it, I think it looks stunning on women of color, women with very pale Nicole Kidman skin. It looks gorgeous with people that have more mocha, sort of olive tone skin. It's just stunning. So take a nice mid-tone mauve, and we're gonna start putting that in the crease. And it's going to be our transition. I'm just taking any old fluffy brush, okay? And if you have hooded eyes, which is where this part comes down more, just bring the color more up above your crease. It'll make your eye look a little bit more open. Okay, just want this to look blended out. So you're just kind of going in windshield wiper motions. You're not pressing hard, you're just going back and forth, circular motions like that, and you're gonna get something that looks like this. And you know, it really just depends. If you want it to look darker than this, then just keep going back into it, but I think you should stop right at this sort of shade. Okay, so it's like a pinky purple, and I think that's enough for the transition. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna focus a little bit on the bottom lash line with something a little bit smaller, like this, a smudge brush, and we're going in with that first mauve shade that I just did up above. And we're just gonna bring that under the eye. Like so. Okay. And then this is up to you, but I really think that this helps. Is now we're dipping into that second shade, which is much more plum. I'm just stopping sort of 3/4 of the way in to give the eye much more, you know, like a sweet romantic sort of smoky plum tone to the eye. Now taking your finger or taking, sorry, I dropped, all right, we'll get it later. Taking your ring finger, whatever finger you feel comfortable with, or whatever you use to work on your outer V, we're gonna take that dark, gorgeous matte plum, and we're just gonna start creating the outer dark dimension. Once again, we're not bringing it all the way in. We're just creating a nice outer V, and we're gonna blend everything in a second. We're gonna blend, and then we're gonna tight line. So taking your pointer, now we're going in with this really creamy, sort of pearly champagne shade. I love like a pink champagne with a mauve. I just think it looks stunning. I just want to blend everything together. Keeping that from over here and then blending it into that dark, deep purple. And then making a little bit of light in the corner of the eye. Going back to the fluffier brush, picking up that first sort of matte mauve light color and just going back over everything and buffing and kind of connecting the dark and the light together, so it's not like harsh lines. Okay. I like to sweep my makeup up and out. It's completely up to you. And then what I would now do is I would take some type of brow bone color. This is by ColourPop Flexitarian. Looks like this, and I would just put this in my brow bone for a nice pop of color and inner corner. Don't forget that inner corner. And if you want to go back and you want to add more mauve, you can. It's really just about how much you feel is necessary. If you want to darken that, you can. So now this is completely optional. I do think it does help is to sort of tight line a little bit. Try to get as close to your lash line as humanly possible and create the tiniest flick at the end. If you don't feel comfortable doing liner, I would 100% skip this, but you're just gonna get as close as you can to your natural born lash line. And you can stop and just do that. You see how this one just looks so much thicker? Lash line, they just look a little bit thicker. you can bring it a little bit out on your eye. Like, I'm talking about like that, like the slightest wing. Like, you can bring that all the way in. It's up to you. And it helps to pull the eye. That's how you get like kind of more of a perfect base. More of a straighter line. Okay, so I think it's even. It's kind of hard to tell, but I'm sure. I think we're even. I'll look back at the footage and be like, really, Emily? The right eye is completely wrong. I got a niche. I got a niche. Okay. Next, we're going to set. Well, we're gonna set the cream bronzer with sort of a taupey mauve shade. We're gonna be going in with this Anastasia Beverly Hills Trio in Pool Party in the color Blank. And we're just gonna set what we just did before and just extra bring out those gorgeous cheekbones. Yes. Don't forget your neck. Don't forget to bring it down the neck. Don't forget to get to the ears, the hairline. Okay. Really pretty. And then taking that same trio, I'm gonna just take a tiny little bit of that middle one, but if you don't want to wear such an intense blush, you don't have to. I think blush is important on your wedding day, to go with something nice and muted and pink. Okay. Stunning. Now, if you don't want to use that type of, the reason why I used that shade in particular is because it mimics almost like the natural shadow, this color right here, because it is more of a taupe. But if you want to just go in with a straight bronzer, I would recommend Give Me Sun from MAC. It's just a stunning color to kind of warm up your face. So it really just depends, you know, on your preference. But I just want to look like I have nice color. And yeah, I think we're good. I gotta make sure everything's blended. So next is definitely going to be setting your face. I would particularly tell you anything would do, but this is your wedding. So I would, if you have the extra money, I would spring for the Prep and Prime by MAC. I have their little teaser, little tester. I would spring for that. If not, I love NYX's, I love Morphe's. I mean, there's plenty of them out there. You could do the All Nighter if you don't like, a lot of people don't like the way the All Nighter smells, but that one really does a really good job. So I'm just gonna let this set, and then I'm gonna work on my lashes. I'm gonna be using from Thrive Cosmetics. I love this stuff. It's liquid lash extensions. It's just regular mascara. At this point, if you were to do lashes, I like false lashes, I would highly recommend putting them on before you did your liner, because then after it would just blend better. I have long lashes, so plus I don't really like wearing heavy false lashes on days when I really don't have to. I could just put mascara on, plus it feels heavy. But if you're a lash girl, that's what I would do. I put them on, and then I would put your liner on. Don't put your liner on and then put your lashes, because you're looking to start cursing. Another thing is, let's say you get mascara on your lid and then you're like, oh, I messed everything up. You didn't mess everything up. You can go back, wait for it to dry. Q-tip takes it right off. So I'm going to be going in with that first shade just to ensure and make sure everything is popping. That's that light mauve transitional shade again, the first color I showed you in the palette. This palette is so stunning, but you know, there's so many palettes on the market that I'm sure you can find a gorgeous matte color. Like I said, this shade is also in her original Carly Bible palette, so you can get it there as well. And then we're just gonna go back in with that darker shade again. It's like a darker plum. Just creating a sexy outer V. Okay. And then blend, blend, blend. It's your wedding day blend. Blend while writing your vows, blend. Okay. That's enough of the eye for right now. Yeah, I think that is enough for the eye. Okay. Now, next, what I would suggest is we're going to move into highlights. So if I'm going to give you 3 different highlight options. Sounds good? The first one is from ColourPop, and it is called Lunch Money. It's their Super Shock Cheek Pearlized. Looks like this. So now what I like about this, let me show you on the back of my hand, swatchy swatch, is it's more of a sheen, a satiny sheen. Can you see this? I don't know if you really can see it, but you see how it's like kind of making my skin glisten? I would recommend this for all of my ladies out there, all of my men out there that just want a nice like not shimmer. I gotta get this right. Like a nice, no chunk, no glitter, just almost like satin silk. Okay? I would go with Lunch Money. Or you can do what I'm about to do, which is just take the Lunch Money, get yourself a clean sort of fluffy brush, take Lunch Money and sweep that under your eye, and you could just go and have your skin look like that. See, like much, like just like a little glisten, just glowing a tiny bit, nothing too crazy. Those are for the people out there that don't want to look like a chandelier. Moving on to the people that want to look like a chandelier. Right? Okay. I would highly recommend from ColourPop. I love ColourPop. I love ColourPop. Would be Flexitarian. I speak about this in almost every video, I believe. I would put this right on your brow bone. Like, this color shows up in the most glorious way. It is so stunning. I have absolutely no words for it. I would put it right on the bridge of the nose. Don't do, on your wedding day, do not do the exclamation point, which is this and this. Don't do that on your wedding day. And if you're going to do it, make sure it's seamless and blended in. I know we all want to have nice, cute little upturned button noses, but we can't have a very obvious, a little bit on the lip. I would not bring it like this to make it look like you have snots. I would not do that. I just wouldn't do it. Take your finger, take a nice little brush, and just go right above. It doesn't need to look like you've been drinking milk. I would take this, I would put it just where you need it, which is the highest point of the cheekbone, right here. Boom, see? Highest point of your cheekbone, make sure it's blended in. Bring it up to the temple. Just like that. So when you turn your head, you could put it on your décolletage area, just like that, for extra glow. My third option for highlighting would be, this is actually new to me, but I'm in love with it. I'm obsessed with it. It's from L'Oreal. It's their Lumi Shimmerista. Now, what you could do with this, it's very pigmented, so I will warn you. You could take a fluffy brush and get it, kind of tap off excess, and just put it on your décolletage, like areas where, you know, you're going to be showing off. And it's just going to give your skin just this gorgeous glow. Tops of the shoulder. You want to marry me? I do. And then you can just take that and just kind of sweep it under if you want more illumination under the eye. You see how that just totally brought this eye to life? It could be used as a brightening agent. And kind of swirl it onto your cheeks like that. Honestly, it can be used in so many different ways. It can be used to just bring out that gorgeous glow. If you don't like your forehead, I wouldn't suggest putting this on your forehead. I would suggest just kind of putting a nice amount right here, so that when you turn your face, you do have like a nice glow and head on. Now let's say you put too much on and you're like, oh my god, I look like an alien, I look like a disco ball. You can, you know, everything's gonna be okay. You can always go back in, which is what I'm gonna do anyway, with my Bare Minerals matte foundation in Pharaoh 1 and just tone it down. Just tone. Just go in and just spot conceal. Okay? Anything that you think is too much, too intense. And this also will ensure the makeup as well that it's gonna stay put. I get a lot of questions on how I make my makeup last all day. And it really is about steps. It's about steps. How many steps that you go through. You know, if you just throw some mascara on and you throw tons and tons and tons of foundation on and you don't set your makeup, you didn't prep it, it might start melting and falling off your face. I'm just gonna add a little bit more blush because I think I went crazy and kind of got rid of it. And then lastly, you see how I still look like myself, but I just look amped up. I just look like I focused on bringing my eye shape out. I focused on bringing my cheekbones out. I focused on just bringing who I am out. And that's what you need to do for your wedding day. So this color is also by ColourPop. I swear by ColourPop. They're just amazing. This color is called Bound. B-O-U-N-D. It's a glossy finish. It's their lippy stick. Looks like this. It looks intimidating, but it is so stunning. They smell like freaking cupcakes. And this is the perfect bridal shade. I swear by it. So I'm gonna start by lining. You don't have to line with this shade. You can line with something a little darker. And I'm gonna fill it in. I love this because it's a little bit darker and pinkier, but it still has a hint of purple. Now, if you're a gloss girl, I would do this next step. If you're not, skip it. This is just like the regular Ulta line. It doesn't even have any type of name or number, but it looks like this, like a mauve gloss, okay? I don't know if you can tell. It's like rosy and mauvey. And I'm gonna just put like 2 coats on my lips to give it more of like a glossy, lipsticky shade. And just go back in, fix my mascara. But the look is complete. If you want to put, you know, black in your waterline, you can. I think it's just a little too intense for the wedding day. It's really just about what your preference is. It's just about what makes you feel beautiful. And I'm just, in my opinion, sharing what I think is like a perfect bridal color that I think more brides should use. I did my sister's makeup for her wedding, and I did a look almost identical to this, and she looked like a movie star. So she has hazel eyes. I have more like honey, sort of Edward Cullen vampire eyes. They're more like amber and honey. So I'm very particular about my lashes. I'm so sorry. Got a little sidetracked there. But yeah, you can still buff and blend, make sure everything is nice and blended. And then what you want to do once more is set the face, check it over. What I would do with my eyebrows is just get some type of oil or some type of hairspray. I would get a toothbrush or like an eyebrow comb, and I would just comb through them. That's personally what I would do. I wouldn't start drawing them in for my wedding. How I look at it is like, if you like, don't try anything that you've never tried before, and don't just decide to do that on your wedding day, because what if you hate it, you know? So that is what I consider to be like a perfect sort of bridal makeup. This is what it looks like. I think it came out really stunning, really beautiful. It's bringing out my eye color. It's bringing out like my cheekbones, but it's still bringing out my beauty, you know, and it's gonna bring out your beauty, and it's just gonna enhance you, you know, it's gonna just enhance. So this is the final look. I'm obsessed with it. I think it's stunning. It's beautiful, and I think you guys, I think you guys should try it. And if you do, let me know. Tag me in pictures. Don't forget to follow me. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification bell to be notified. There's something going on with YouTube right now where people aren't really getting videos of people that they love. So maybe try like unsubscribing and then resubscribing and hitting that notification bell to ensure that you do get the video. But yeah, that's really all I had to say. Don't forget to follow me on all of my social medias. Check out my music. Everything is listed down below on how to find me. And yeah, if you are getting married soon, congratulations. Or if you have previously just got married, congratulations. And yeah, I hope that you guys enjoy this makeup and want to try it out. So thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I will talk to you guys all in my next one. Bye.